Hello, everyone. I hope this time everything will go smoothly. Welcome to today's live demonstration on ingesting data with a pipeline in Microsoft Fabric. In this session, we'll walk through how Fabric pipelines and help you bring data from various sources into your lakehouse and prepare it for analytics in a simple, scalable way. Sorry. So let's get started. But before getting started, I would like to share my screen and share some info with you. So first of all, I kindly inform you that this lab is in the frame of Fabric Database project. I have shared this communityfabric.microsoft.com link where you can find all the necessary schedule, live sessions in different language. You can request your 100% discount and another information. Also, like this, and just kindly let you know that whatever today I'm going to display or demonstrate related to lab, it's in the frame of DP600 exam that is related to building pipelines. You can find here in orchestrate processes and data movement with Microsoft Fabric. This is the exercise, so-called ingest data with a pipeline. And taking it an opportunity, I would like to kindly ask you to subscribe or to become member of my meetup group, called Azerbaijan Power BI and the Microsoft Fabric community. It's in the it's part of Microsoft Fabric user group network where we can find 61 groups. And also, I kindly ask you just to subscribe to my Data and AI Horizons newsletter. Just for your info, once again, these links have been already just shared, so you can find them in the text box, right? Okay, so just now let's get started with our you know lab. So a little bit about our lab. So we know that a lakehouse is the central storage layer for analytics, and data engineers are responsible for bringing data from different systems into this environment, into lakehouse. And in Microsoft Fabric, we can build ETL, extract, transform, load, or land, or extract, load, transform, ELT, processes using pipelines. Fabric also includes Apache Spark, allowing us to run scalable code for advanced transformations. And by combining pipelines with Spark, we can load data into OneLake and apply custom processing before it lands in our analytical tables. Roughly, this lab will take 30 through 45 minutes to complete. So let's get started. First of all, I have to, find myself in Fabric environment. So for this purpose, I say app, either this one that you see on the screen, or I say fabric.microsoft.com, right? Now, Fabric is going to be, available. It's going to be available. So let me uh, be sure of it. And here we are in Microsoft Fabric. So the first step is just, building new workspace. And we say new workspace, and we are going to call it like Fab Workspace. And here, as a description, I'm going to write labs purpose only. And then I'm expanding advanced part and be sure that the trial version is selected, and I say apply. Thus, my creating a workspace, process has been completed. While I'm here, I'm going to create a lakehouse. So I say new item, and here I'm going to type lakehouse, and I'm selecting lakehouse. Okay. Uh, then here I'm going to enter my lakehouse name. It's going to be Fab Lakehouse. And I'm going to be sure that it's in the location of Fabric Workspace, and I have to be sure that this is unchecked. So say create. Okay. And thus our lakehouse inside my so-called fab underscore workspace has been created. And there is nothing. The next step is just adding subfolder, clicking on ellipsis in front of files, and we say new folder, and pardon. And I'm going to call this one like, new data, right? I say new underscore data and then create. Thus, I have completed the process of building new workspace and new lakehouse. Now it's time, and just pay attention, there is nothing, right? There is nothing, okay? It's empty. While I'm inside of lakehouse, and I'm going to perform the third step, like creating a pipeline. So here I have my get data, and I'm selecting from dropdown new pipeline. And I'm going to call my new pipeline like, ingest sales data and say create. And thus my data line is going to be, created. So let me, yes, created. And so the purpose of building pipeline is to ingest data. And the simple way for ingesting data is using a copy data activity in a pipeline. So it will help us to extract data from a source and copy it to a file in the lakehouse. So we have already created our, pipeline. So let's say that automatically copy data into Lakehouse wizard is opening for us. Let's say that it hasn't opened, or by mistake, we close this one. So from there to get back to our wizard, copy data wizard. So we can either click here, copy data assistant, and we'll get the same window, or from home, we have copy data, and under drop down, we say use copy assistant. Thus, we'll get the wizard window. And here, I'm just going to, get data in CSV format from the following, just say, let me get it from here, from this link. And let's be sure that this link has been copied correctly. And actually, we have worked also with this data. By the way, I'm just going to, just copy, paste this link in the chat box, text box. So we get this window, right? So the next step is just, let me tell you, we are going to choose our data source. So for this purpose, here, I'm going to type HTTP, and I'm selecting this one, and I'm getting to connect to data source pane, right? So for URL part, I'm going to paste this URL that will help me to get my data from that link. And for connection credentials, here I'm going to say create a new connection. And for connection name, I'm going to give it like labs data underscore data. This is what I'm going to call my connection name. Just I have to remember this one. And for data gateway, it's going to be none. For authentication kind, it's going to be anonymous, right? And here I say next. This is the main part of building pipelines, actually, of this lab. We have to be very careful here. So this is what we get as a continuous of wizard, copy data wizard. So I'm going to leave all of them, but I have to be sure that the request method is get and the binary copy is not selected. And here I say next. In this part, I'm going to, wait for a while. This is the main actually point. I mean, here we have to be very careful. So let's wait for a while. Just we'll see. Okay, we have to wait until that time that it becomes active. So here, file format is going to be delimited text. Column delimiter is going to be comma. Row delimiter is going to be this one, line feed. This means that I'm starting with new line, actually new line. Okay, so first row as header here is selected, and then compression type is no compression, and I'm going to preview my data to be sure that URL is correct and to be sure that I can preview my data. So this is what I preview. I can close this one and say next. Okay, here I have to be very careful. So from OneLake catalog, I'm selecting this one, Fabric Lakehouse. And here in the part of connect to data source, I say connect. And if we follow this way, it will not work correctly. So I say go back, and from here, Fabric, I'm clicking on this, and from connection info, I'm going to select the last my connection, which is this one, and I say connect. So it doesn't work once again. So in this case, I'm going to, select this one, and most probably I will say connection. And full copy, say next, and I'm going to select this one. But once again, this is the important point that we miss. So I'm going to repeat this point because I know that my experience shows me that I will not get the necessary, site. So here I'm just going to, cancel this part. So I will come to my workspace. Let me open this one. This is my workspace. So I'm going to build my pipeline once again. So let me just delete it. So I'm deleting it. And there is no pipeline. So I'm once again in my lakehouse. So let's be sure that there is no pipeline. So once again, I'm going to say get data and say new pipeline. And I'm going to call my pipeline as, say, ingest sales data. So say create. I'm doing it once again because I know that if I would follow that way, it would give me the wrong, wrong stuff, something like this. So here, what I'm just going to do, or I'm going to type HTTP, and for URL, let me copy this URL just to ingest the data. Copy, and here I'm pasting, and for connection, I'm saying new connection. And for connection name, I'm going to say sales data, sales lab data. And I'm leaving like this and say next. So it automatically selected the connection name. And here I say next. and I have to wait for a while. So let's wait for a while. And here I have to change this row delimiter. It should be line feed, right? So let me change it. And here I have to be sure that first row as header is selected and compression type is none. I can preview my data. It's okay. And I can say, next. So this is what I'm getting. I say connect. I hope, yeah, this time it will work. And here I'm changing root folder to files. And for folder path, I'm going to browse and I'm selecting new data. If you remember, new data is the name of my subfolder under files folder. And I say, okay. For file name, I'm just going to say sales, CSV. And for copy behavior, it's going to be none. And I say next, right? So here also, I'm going to change this one into live feed. And my header to file is, selected. Compression type is none. And file format is delimiter text and column delimiter is common. And I say text. Now, here, what I'm just going to do, I'm going to save and run this pipeline. So this pipeline copy data activity will ingest data from this, source. This is from this link, so GitHub. So now we have to wait for a while, and it could be successfully succeeded or something like this. So let's wait for a while, and then, of course, we'll check whether, yeah, it succeeded. So we go back to our Fab Lakehouse. And here I'm going to, refresh. And I have to be sure that the data has been ingested. So I can preview it from here. Yes, everything is perfect. So it means that our pipeline is working perfectly. Now it's time to, create a notebook that will help us to move this data or copy this data into this table. We know that from the first lab, when our data is located under tables, it will help us using SQL to query our data. All right. So I'm going back I'm inside of my Lakehouse. While I'm here, I see open notebook, drop down and say new notebook. And now I'm not going to call my new notebook. Instead, I'm going to write one simple code here. Just pay attention. It's here we are going to use PySpark Python code. So here I'm saying that my table name equals between double quotes sales, right? Sales is the name of my file. So here I can run this one, and we have to wait for a while. So, the number of seconds is increasing. So, it means that it has already ended. So while it's selecting, I'm going to click here and selecting toggle parameter cell. So this configures toggle parameter cell, configures the cell so that the variables declared in it are treated as parameters when running the notebook from a pipeline. So the next step is just clicking on here. Actually, I'm going to copy all the, say, codes from lab, but we can use different, sources to write these codes for ourselves. So let me copy, and here I'm going to, paste. So what does this code do? So first of all, at the end of the day, this code will load data from sales CSV, and that was ingested the copy data activity, and apply some transformation logic, and will save the transformed data as a table. So this is the aim of this code. So here it starts with reading the new sales data, and it's going to add month and year columns. It's going to drive first name and last name columns, filter and reorder columns, and at the end of the day, it's going to load the data into a table. So I can run this code. It's going to be run. So what I can do, so we have to wait for a while. So let me expand this one. We have to be sure that all the steps are succeeded. So here, the number of seconds, running seconds. So we are going to wait for a while. So yes, let's see. Now it's completed, actually not completed. So yes, now it's completed. So what I can do, while I'm in the notebook here, I can change the name of my notebook. It's going to be load sales. Yes, I'm going back to my Fabric Lakehouse. Here I have to refresh, and let's see. Yes. Now, Notebook helped us to make copy, I mean, from new data, sales, this one into here. So here we can also see the preview of this data, right? Actually, here we can complete this lab, but there is one more step that I'm going to apply. So let me go back to my ingest sales data pipeline. Here, I'm going to modify the pipeline. Pardon. I'm going to, modify. So sometimes it doesn't work correctly. So it does work to refresh this website. This part of, this pipeline. So now it's okay. From activities, I can add, from ellipsis, I can add delete data. So let's change the places here. Okay. So what's the aim of this one? So this ingest sales data pipeline is our pipeline. So we are going to delete the first data, and we'll copy that data, and we'll move further. So we'll understand a little bit further the purpose of doing this kind of stuff. So first of all, I'm going to, here on completion, to join this one. Now it's okay. And I'm going to select this deleted data, and I'm going to, make a name for this activity. So it's going to be delete all files. So there is nothing to do. So I'm going to select source, and here for connection, I have to be sure that I have to select the last one, this one. And for Lakehouse, this is going to be this one. And here for file path type, I will select this wildcard file name. While I was preparing for this lab, I had some issues related to this one. I hope this time I will not challenge or face these challenges. So for folder path, I'm going to browse, and I have to select new data. And I'm selecting new data, and then I'm going to, say okay. And for wildcard file name, I'm going to enter, just say what to enter. I have to enter my, just let's say it should be like this, CSV. I hope this is correct, wildcard file name. And I have to be sure that recursively is selected, right? So then I'm going to logging settings, and it must be unchecked. Okay, so the last step here in the modification part of this lab is adding one notebook. This is my notebook, and on completion, I'm going to connect this one. Okay. So I'm going to select this notebook, and now it's time to rename our notebook. And this is going to be load sales notebook. And let me check this one. And from settings, my workspace has been checked, and notebook, I'm going to select this one. And here I have my base parameters, and I'm adding the new one. And I'm going to add one new parameter, so-called, this is going to be called like table name underscore name. So this parameter will be passed to the notebook and override, the default value assigned to the table underscore name variable in the parameters cells. The type is going to be string, and the values is going to be just new cells. That's it. Now, what I can do from home tab, I say, save. And it's going to save. I hope saving completed successfully. And here we have to run. I hope there will not be any issue. Really, this is what I'm aiming. Okay, we got it. And now in the output part of this window, we have to see three lines with succeeded. And we have to wait for a while. Let's be a little bit patient. And at the end of the day, the new underscore sales table will be under table folder in Lakehouse. So let's wait for a while. The deletion of old files successfully succeeded. I mean, we completed this one. Okay, so let's see. So now the last one is being processed. So we have to be sure. I mean, we have to be patient for a while. So let's wait for a while. Yes. Okay. It means that in 30 minutes we will be able to complete our today's lab. By the way, in next lab, let me tell you, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to talk about, let's see, let's be through that. What's our next lab? Next lab is going to be related to, let's say, I hope, creating a medallion architecture in a Microsoft Fabric. And our last lab will be related to creating a Microsoft, let me tell you, it's going to be related to creating a data warehouse. I mean, analyzing data in a data warehouse. Now all the steps have been completed. I'm going back to my Fabric Lakehouse, and here I see my new cells that has been created by my notebook after modification, right? So we can preview our data. So briefly, uh, what we can say that in this exercise, in this lab, we implemented a data ingestion solution that uses a pipeline to copy data to our lakehouse from an external source, and then uses a Spark notebook to transform the data and load it into a table. So this is all about our, say, today's lab. I kindly ask you to check the text box of today's session and become member of my meetup group where you can find good sessions, webinars. For example, our next webinar is going to be done by Linda Larkan, who is a Microsoft technical trainer and Microsoft certified trainer and Microsoft full-time employee. And she is going to talk about data science and ML solutions in Microsoft Fabric. So, and also you can just subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is you see in my screen. So, thus, I'm going to say stop sharing, actually stop streaming my data, session. So I'm going to see you in my next lab session in 2 days. I kindly ask you to write your questions in the chat box and text box, and I will try to answer to your questions. See you in next um, session. Take care of yourself. Bye.